Dan, welcome back to Cinematic Cravings. Today, we're diving into the Marvel Universe with some emotional words from a name who defined an entire era. Yes, Chris Evans, also known as Steve Rogers, our true Captain America. After it was confirmed that he won't be part of Avengers Doomsday, he finally spoke. And what he said gives us a deeply personal glimpse into what it feels like for an old hero to be left behind. But before we get into all the details, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that button and like the video. That's how we grow together. Now let's get started. In his interview with Screen Rant, Evans openly said, "I'm sad." He's not just saying goodbye to a character, he's also parting ways with a team he's fought battles with, shared laughs with, and spent years alongside. "I still talk to them, but I'm not at the same table anymore," he said. A line that says a lot. It shows just how connected Evans is to this universe, just as much as the fans are. Perhaps the most striking statement from Chris Evans was, "You feel like someone who wasn't invited to the party." This one sentence sums up the emotional gap left behind as the heroes he helped shape turned to a new chapter without him. Yes, his story ended with Endgame, but Marvel fans have always held on to a sliver of hope that Steve Rogers might one day return. So who is returning in Avengers Doomsday? Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Letitia Wright as Shuri, and Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America are all back on the scene. But the most surprising return comes from Robert Downey Jr. not as Iron Man, but this time as one of the most dangerous villains in the Marvel Universe, Dr. Doom. So this movie isn't just a parade of heroes, it's also the spark for new conflicts. Let's not forget, in Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers traveled back in time to return the Infinity Stones and chose to stay in the past with the woman he loved, Peggy Carter. The person he passed the torch to was Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie. It was an emotional and symbolic farewell, but now that the new cast is confirmed, we can really feel just how final that goodbye might be. But is it really goodbye? Marvel fans don't give up hope that easily. With the multiverse concept, anything is possible now. We've seen in Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness that the dead can return, and those retired in one universe can be active in another. So, Chris Evans' Steve Rogers might just pop up again in a surprise cameo, or even a major role in a different timeline. For Marvel, never say never has become the rule. Now let's talk about the biggest twist in the MCU right now, Robert Downey Jr.'s return, but not as Iron Man, this time as Dr. Doom. This radical shift shows just how far Marvel is willing to stretch its multiverse concept. Fans are split down the middle. Some are excited about this bold move, while others say Tony Stark should return, but not as a villain. Still, one thing's for sure, if Downey Jr. brings this character to life, we could be witnessing a cinematic legend in the making. After Evans' statements, the hashtag BringbackCap quickly started trending on social media. The Marvel community sees Steve Rogers' absence not just as nostalgia, but as an emotional loss. Some say Avengers isn't complete without him, while others argue it's time to make room for the next generation, supporting Marvel's decision. But one thing is clear, Captain America is still seen as one of the soul-defining characters of the MCU. Outside of Marvel, Evans remains very active. In recent years, he starred in projects like Ghosted, Pain Hustlers, and Red One. As he puts it, he now wants to do fewer projects, but ones that have deeper meaning. He's also working in areas beyond film. So, while the Marvel chapter may seem closed, Chris Evans is clearly stepping into a new phase of his career. And that's where things stand. Chris Evans may not be physically present in Avengers Doomsday, but in our hearts, he's still a leader, still our Cap. What do you think? Has he really said goodbye forever? Or is Marvel preparing a major surprise? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Steve Rogers will return one day? How real are those Hydra Cap theories? Don't forget, the best part of this channel is discussing and building theories together. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.